You don't build the boat for the water you're in, you build it for the storms you're going into. I saw this quote and it made me think of a lot of brands right now that we're consulting with, that we're working with and everything. And I consistently see people fail to scale, not because of their ads or, the things they're doing, but because they are scared to take that next risk in their business and build the boat for where they want to go. And today we're gonna be talking a lot about that. Hey, I'm stuck at 100K a month. I want to scale further and everything. But then when you look at their business and stuff, they're constrained and maxed out of all the things they're doing on a day-to-day basis. And they don't even have the capacity to scale to $1 million a month. And we'll actually be reflecting back on a couple of learning lessons that I've had over the last couple of months where, we literally went from about 5 to 6 team members to the agency now to literally 22 people in the team now. And we'll be kind of going over that expansion and growth and kind of the mindset reflection I've had on that. For the agency side, we kind of got complacent. And when I say complacent, like we weren't really growing and stuff. We were doing a lot of actions to grow the business, but we were missing one critical action that what I would say holds a lot of people back. And basically what we kept falling into is we kept trying to go into a storm basically with our current boat now, and we weren't building a bigger boat that could actually go into a storm like that. So what essentially would happen is we'd sign on a few clients, and obviously we have a certain threshold of the number of clients we could work with. And for that time, it was roughly about 8 to 10 clients. And I would say that was pushing it too. I would say more realistically, it was about 6 clients. Again, a team of 5, like we could really just dial in and do really well with them. Keep in mind, we charge 10K a month to work with our clients. We cater to more of a full service setup for them. And every time we'd scale more than 8 clients, results would immediately drop. Team would be overworked, and essentially what would happen is we'd start losing clients, and it would damage our reputation, and clients wouldn't have a good LTV or anything like that. And that's kind of what I struggled with all year last year. And it was actually funny because it wasn't until I went to a mastermind, Jeremy Haynes mastermind specifically. I've been in this group now for 4 years. He's helped me out a lot grow and scale my personal brand. And his Q1 mastermind this year, we went and, one of his lessons was basically take bigger risk. And that's what I realized that I was missing this whole time, and why we were complacent inside of the agency, because it wasn't like going to take a bigger risk of like, hey, go throw up more ad spend or go take bigger risks as like, like when you quit your job to go all in on your business and stuff. It was, hey, there's a whole new risk associated with scaling. And oftentimes people get complacent once they start making a little bit of money, they start growing a little bit, they get complacent of where they're at now, and they feel good with the income they're getting now, and they don't want to risk breaking that income, so they never take any more risk in their business, and they never grow. And because they never grow, they actually start to die off, and their business, starts to contract and stuff, and they make less. Eventually, they either go out of business or pivot to something else. So in our case, what we were missing here is obviously taking bigger risks. And our bigger risk here was actually taking the risk on new team members. And I kept trying to keep things small. I kept trying to like, hey, if we sign a couple more clients, as long as we can maintain those clients, then I'll hire the team members. And it was basically like me taking a little fucking canoe that you would take in like some very easy, chill waters and trying to go through like across the Atlantic Ocean over these huge storms. Hey, once I'm actually out there and in the storm and stuff, then I'll upgrade my boat. And that's actually completely false, because you just could make that happen. So what we've been doing lately is we're actually building out the team that can actually handle those big waters. And over this year, we've scaled up from literally 6 people beginning of the year all the way now to we have 21 people on side the team now. And we've actually been able to sign on a lot more clients now, and we're constantly staying more team members than clients, to where that way we can provide a high quality service. And we're constantly refining and improving that service now to make it better for people, and taking those necessary risks versus being that complacent part right there. So my question for you guys, and something to think about as you watch this video right now, is, okay, hey, when I look at my business, what is the thing that I keep putting off? What is the risk or the new hire or the new inventory investment? You know, maybe you're still at 30K a month and you still refuse to go from drop shipping to actually using a 3PL and stuff. Or maybe you're still drop shipping and using the branded product that everyone else is using and you haven't custom branded your own product. Or, hey, I'm capped out right now with the number of ads I can launch on a week-to-week basis because I'm still editing my own videos. What's the video editor I need to go hire? Or let's finally take a risk on hiring content creators to make content of our product versus continuing to rip content offline. What is the risk that you need to take in your business right now to break through that complacentness that you have now to be able to scale further? And that's what I challenge you guys watching this video today with doing. Obviously, we'll cover a few more other key parts of it and stuff. But before we do that, I really need a cigar because it's been like 2 weeks now and I'm not fiending, not addicted, but you know, I really looking forward to one right now. Good little 2.5 hour cigar. It's our typical Palencia, but this is the blue one. This is the I can't even pronounce that. Typically do the green one, but this one's, I'm actually curious. I've done it once or twice before. It was always good every time I did it. So obviously, when we're talking about taking risk and everything, you have to define the risk, right? You know, like every risk we take, there has to be more upside potential to it and actually have like a proven to work. Like me hiring more people to take on more clients and make more money is obviously like a risk that like makes sense, you know? But if it was like, hey, let me go deploy all my money for some random PR thing that it's not even relevant anymore, that wouldn't be a smart risk anymore. So when you're thinking about your risks and everything, you always have to make sure that the risk you're taking, is it a smart risk? Is it a calculated risk? It's not like a uncalculated risk will be me taking all my money, going to the casino, throwing it all on black and hopefully it hits. And you know, some people are addicted to that. They're addicted to the adrenaline rush that comes with the risk and everything. But that's not a calculated risk. A calculated risk for me is like, okay, hey, am I risking all my money to go and hire this person or make this inventory investment or launch this new product for my business? Or is it just a portion? I always like to say risk 10% at all times. 10% is a healthy, safe number where it's like, oh, if we lose 10%, we won't be out on the streets if we lose it. It'll be a little uncomfortable. For example, we just hired on 2 new people in the team this week. Each of them costs about $4,000 a month. That's $8,000 a month that I'll be spending now. Worst case, it doesn't work out with them. I blow $8K over the next 30 days and you know, it sucks. Like I could easily go put that $8K on like another Lambo payment and stuff. But it'll suck a little bit that if I lose that money, but it won't necessarily like end me. It won't be like, oh, I'm destroyed if I lose that money. Now, if I go take like a 7-figure risk and go put like $1 million on a deal and like have almost all of my, you know, capital deployed on that, obviously that's where it's going to be an uncalculated risk and it's going to be a lot more risky for that to pay off. And if it doesn't pay off, hey, I'm going to probably be on the streets or, you know, it's going to be extremely uncomfortable for a long time. So every risk you take, you always have to look at the calculated part of it actually paying off and what's my risk exposure. So when we're taking bigger risk and stuff, what often happens is that when we're in the beginning phase of growing a business, we take, you know, big risks because we don't really have much capital and stuff like that. We're kind of risking everything. But once you actually move over to, you know, like growing and scaling the business, that's where you stop taking a lot of those risks and everything. And the risk exposure is significantly smaller and you get comfortable with where you're at. That's the main thing when it comes down to the risk side and the risk exposure side. Before we kind of get into a couple of the other things, I do need to catch up on a few messages and stuff, so I'm gonna enjoy this nice Palencia and catch up on a little bit of work. So something that I've been personally struggling with as we've been scaling up and growing and stuff is obviously the number of just distractions I have throughout the day increases. So you know, we have more people messaging us, we have more students, clients, all that. And then on top of that, we've also been doubling down on social media content. So between social media content and all of this other like forms of communication and stuff, just a lot more distractions. So something I've been doing is using interval timer And I'll record my screen on my phone so I can show you guys as well as I walk through this. But I use interval timer, and what I'll do is if I come into interval timer, I'll go ahead and just set up a new routine. I'll show you guys the one I have set up right here. And basically it's just interval cycle, or no warm up, interval cycle, one set, and then I'll do a high intensity of 25 minutes and then a low intensity of 5 minutes. And basically what that high intensity is of 25 minutes is 25 minutes of uninterrupted work. I'm not allowed to go open up any social media sites. I'm not allowed to reply to any messages or anything like that. I'm just doing my deep work activities. Then the low intensity is 5 minutes long, and the low intensity part, this is where I'll literally just go ahead and it's just whatever I want to do. If I want to get up and walk around my house for 5 minutes, I do that. If I want to scroll on Instagram for 5 minutes, I do that. Lately, I've been going on Twitter, and I've been just replying to a bunch of people on Twitter. I've been posting content on Twitter just because it's another form of me kind of like, promoting my business and stuff like that. And then I'll have this on repeat, and then number of cycles, the max I'll do is 6, because I find for myself between 2 and 3 hours, that's where I start to lose focus. So the most I can go is 3 hours of deep focus before I just need like an hour break. Sometimes I'll do 2 hours. It just kind of depends on how much time I have for that day. And then obviously no rest between cycles and no cool down. I'll save this. And then from there, I'll just literally go hit start, and it'll beep. I'll start to 25 minutes. I'll do my 25 minutes of deep work. Then it'll beep again for 5 minutes. I got the 5 minutes of just doing whatever I want, and then I'll restart again back to 25 minutes. And this has been helping a ton with just focus throughout the day. And it's been good. So definitely something I recommend you guys try a lot, especially if you struggle with focusing for an extended period of time. It's really helped me a lot by adding that time constraint in my day to day. So one of the ways that you can actually understand if the risk you are taking are paying off, well, obviously you're going to have the capacity now to start taking on more workload, or you're making improvements in the business that's just paying off in terms of, like, let's say a better product and you have a better customer retention and everything like that. That's one way. But another way you can actually see that some of these risks are paying off is as you start to grow and scale, you have new problems on your plate on a day-to-day basis. This morning, like literally one of the problems I was having to deal with is team members not fully understanding what they're responsible for and how to overstep boundaries for other team members. So like now, like I have to work on a training to make sure each particular team member fully understands their boundaries, their roles, the do's and don'ts of each position. That's to be completely different and not something that I'm worried about. Like, say if I was at like 0 to 10K a month, 0 to 10K a month, I'm worried about like new headlines and new creatives and stuff like that to test. So as you scale, the problems of which you're solving on a day-to-day basis is completely different. So it's not like, hey, I scaled to $10 million a month and I'm still focused on creatives every day. It's who's the right people I need in the team to make better creatives? What are different creative styles that are currently crushing the marketplace, and how can I go hire people that can actually execute that within my team or within my business and stuff? What are, making sure your team is working effectively as we're scaling, we have fulfillment in-house and stuff. What are different ways to improve the efficiency of the team in-house to where we can get more output? How can we cut costs? Where's waste at in the business of where, people are just burning profits and stuff? I know one of the things I had a call with one of my mentors this week was just looking at waste in my business. Where's the wasted space that we're not fully utilizing and stuff, and the bandwidth of each key person and stuff. And this is the mindset shift you have as you scale within your business. All these things change. And this is a great way you can understand that, hey, am I growing? Am I scaling? Is by the problems you're solving on a day-to-day basis. And that's just one of the indicators I like to look at and stuff. So in fact, I was actually interviewing one of my students yesterday who went from 30K a month to 275K a month inside of the inner circle. And one of the cool things that changed for her is that, like, she was originally focusing on, like, her problems was like, how do I create a great t-shirt design? How do I, run ads and stuff? Now her new problems are, identifying key trends in the marketplace that she can create t-shirt designs. How can she improve the efficiency of her warehouse? Like, one of her problems this week was actually going in, like, getting a better power, like a breaker installed in her warehouse so she can run more units, these like screen presses and stuff inside of her warehouse. Like, it's a completely different problem than some of the people that's like, oh, hey, how do I create an ad for example. So as you scale, the problems you solve on a day-to-day basis also change. And as you take bigger risks, you have to understand that these will become new problems you associate with, and you have to be prepared to solve those problems. And that's where having some type of mentor can help you out. And this is one of the things that I love doing inside of the inner circle is actually do all this on one-on-one calls with my team members or with my students, where I help them break down the current problems that are happening in their business and what are the solutions they need to actually solve those particular problems. So having someone that's already been there and done that actually helps you, gives you that lifeline, number one, but also gives you that piece of like, hey, they've been there, they solved this before. So instead of me spending months trying to figure out how to solve this problem, I can just hop on a call with that person. They can break that down for me, and then I can keep, get back on track of scaling. And that's why it's like, hey, this YouTube videos and stuff, I give y'all everything. I give y'all everything that I know, to give back to the community and stuff. But the reason why the inner circle becomes valuable is because here's granular information or broad information that works for everyone. But now, how do I apply that specifically to my business? And that's where the inner circle comes in play, or my agency comes in play, where I can come in and do all of it for you as a done for you offer. So you just have to be making at least 100K a month for that. And inner circle, you have to be doing at least 30K a month. And if you're doing less than 30K a month, just keep watching my YouTube videos, because reality is these YouTube videos can easily help you scale to multiple six figures a month. But once you actually start applying them, getting traction and stuff, this is where me stepping in can help you accelerate that learning curve, which will further help you scale. So, but yeah, I'm going to finish this cigar, and then we're about to head home and actually start on our weekly student call and everything. So, but I'm actually going to close the video out here. I'll probably end with a nice little montage and stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, new videos, new vlogs specifically every Friday at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. Central Time. I keep saying that over and over. But thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.